Welcome to another episode of IFS Meditations and Insights, a podcast dedicated to exploring the transformative power of the internal family systems model. Here we delve into the depths of self-discovery and healing, providing you with practical meditations to apply what you learn. IFS is an innovative approach that empowers individuals to understand and nurture their internal parts, fostering inner harmony and self-compassion. I'm your host, Tim Fortescue, an IFS practitioner specializing in spiritual growth and healing. Whether you've experienced religious trauma or are seeking guidance on your spiritual journey, I'm here to support you. You can find out more about me and my coaching practice at faithfullygrowing.com. And if you'd like to contribute to making coaching accessible to all in this IFS format, consider making a tax-deductible donation at faithfullygrowing.com/donate. Today, as I delve into the world of IFS, I'm going to talk about integrating IFS and a Buddhist worldview. So let's jump in with some courage and curiosity if we can. To kick things off, let's briefly touch upon internal family systems. Developed by Dr. Richard or Dick Schwartz, IFS posits that the mind is composed of various parts that play different roles in our lives. These parts can be categorized into managers, firefighters, and exiles. And it's a proven approach that aims to help us understand, communicate with, and harmonize these different aspects of ourselves. And several episodes back, I talked about IFS from a Christian worldview. I'm Christian, and that's the primary lens that I tend to look through. And I'll link this episode in the show notes for this episode if you're curious about checking that out. However, more and more I come into contact with those who practice Buddhism. So I thought it might be helpful to look at IFS through the Buddhist worldview. This ancient religion is based on the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, also known as the Buddha. And Buddhism places great importance on two key principles: the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. These principles serve as the foundation for attaining enlightenment. The Four Noble Truths are essential teachings in Buddhism. They shed light on the nature of suffering, its causes, the possibility of ending suffering, and the path to liberation. The first noble truth acknowledges that suffering is an inherent part of the human existence. It recognizes that life is filled with various forms of pain, both physical and emotional. The second noble truth delves into the causes of suffering. It suggests that attachment and desire are the root causes of our discontentment. By clinging to desires and attachments, we create a cycle of craving and dissatisfaction that leads to suffering. The third noble truth offers hope by proclaiming that there's a way to end suffering. It asserts that through the cessation of desires and attachments, one can attain liberation from suffering. This liberation is often referred to as what many of us have probably heard this term, nirvana. And then finally, the fourth noble truth outlines the path to liberation, which is known as the Eightfold Path. And this path consists of 8 interconnected aspects that guide individuals toward right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. And by cultivating these qualities, one can gradually free themselves from suffering to achieve enlightenment. And so in addition to attracting clients from traditions like Christianity, I also often have clients that come from other traditions, and many of them are Buddhist, or they've gravitated to it in some way or another. And these clients find solace and guidance in the teachings of Buddhism, incorporating its principles into their daily lives. And they may seek coaching to further explore and deepen their understanding of Buddhism and integrating its wisdom into their personal growth and spiritual journey. So let's take a minute and explore the fusion of internal family systems, or IFS, and Buddhism, as we delve into the depths of their integration for just a bit. By closely examining the core principles of both approaches, we can uncover intriguing parallels that exist between them. In IFS, the notion of parts corresponds to the various aspects of the self, each with its own unique characteristics and perspectives. Similarly, in Buddhism, these parts can be seen as reflections of the impermanent nature of existence, often referred to as no self or anatta. In IFS, the concept of parts refers to the different internal aspects of ourselves that hold emotions, beliefs, and memories, among other things. These parts can range from protective parts and those wanting to nurture the wounded and vulnerable, among other parts within our system. And they each have their own distinct voice and role within our internal family. Similarly, in Buddhism, the idea of no self suggests that there is no fixed, unchanging entity or essence at the core of our being. Instead, our sense of self is composed of ever-changing mental and physical phenomena, constantly arising and passing away. Both IFS and Buddhism emphasize the importance of cultivating awareness and compassion towards these parts or aspects of ourselves. In IFS, this involves developing a compassionate and curious stance toward our parts, seeking to understand their needs and motivations. Through this process, we can foster healing and integration within our internal system. And similarly, in Buddhism, cultivating mindfulness and compassion allows us to observe and embrace the impermanent nature of our experiences, including the arising and passing away of different mental and physical phenomena. This practice helps us develop a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all things and cultivates a sense of compassion towards ourselves and others. And furthermore, both IFS and Buddhism recognize the potential for transformation and growth within these parts or aspects of ourselves. In IFS, the goal is to establish a harmonious relationship among our parts, allowing them to work together collaboratively. This leads to a greater sense of wholeness and well-being. Similarly, in Buddhism, the practice of mindfulness and insight meditation enables us to observe our parts with non-judgmental awareness, allowing for the possibility of transformation and liberation from suffering. And so as I wrap things up here, the integration of IFS and Buddhism reveals fascinating parallels between the two approaches. Both emphasize the importance of understanding and embracing the different aspects of ourselves, recognizing their impermanent nature, and cultivating awareness and compassion towards them. By bridging these two perspectives, we can deepen our understanding of ourselves and enhance our personal growth and well-being. I hope this was helpful and that it sparked your curiosity about blending the wisdom of internal family systems with the teachings of Buddhism. And know too that I am no expert in Buddhism. I'm not even an expert in Christianity, But if you have feedback to give me, please feel free to do that, and I would love to hear it. And remember that whether you're exploring the landscape of your mind or the depths of spiritual wisdom, the journey within is a path to greater understanding and inner peace. Thank you for joining me for this episode. I hope it inspires you to nurture more self-care and compassion. And if you found value in what you heard, make sure to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And share it with your friends and family too. Your feedback means a lot to me, so please take a moment to leave a review and let me know how I'm doing. And if you have any questions or want to connect further, shoot me an email to tim@faithfullygrowing.com. But I look forward to hearing from you. And until next time, take care, stay curious if you can, and embrace every part on your journey.